like me are just happy to have your tortoise back. Ha! You got a home here. Welcome to the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of a state and world that we live in. Appreciate you hanging. Go ahead and share this out and subscribe, like, all that fun stuff. Tell all your peeps about it. We like to hang out. We like to party here. That's what we do right here on the Go Show. And I did say, I talked about my tortoise. It is a tortoise, not a turtle. His name is Fernando Tortosuela. Fernando Tortosuela, obviously, after the great Fernando Valenzuela of the Dodgers. And I'll tell you, I haven't had him in a while. You see, tortoises do something. Tortoises? Tortoise? Yeah, anyway, those things, they go into hibernation during the winter months and come out when it gets caliente outside. And it's got caliente outside. So my man Nando popped up, and he is, what's up, Eddie? My man Nando is back. And here's the deal. It's not hibernation. I learned this is absolutely fascinating. These tortoises are available for adoption. You just go to the game and fish department and say, give me tortoise. And I mean, it's y'all know me. We're doing this for 11 years. When my kids are like, whatever, what happens to Fernando? What if something happens to him? What if a dog gets to him? Or what if something happens to him? And you know me, y'all. I'd be like, we'll go to game and fish. I don't know, get another one. Fernando's like 22 years old. He's going to live to in his 60s to 80s. So he is going to be intern Beans or intern Nuge's tortoise when I'm long gone. It's just neat having him. So they don't hibernate. They do something called brumate. It's brumation, which you had me at brew. What up, Lynn? You had me at brew. So this tortoise is just right along me. I don't hibernate. I brumate. And the only way I can really explain brumation in a tortoise is that it's maybe that, when you hit snooze for the first time in the morning when your alarm goes off. And by the way, don't jump in the comments and say, I never hit snooze. I popped right out of bed. Yeah, shut up. That sleep that you have, you find that you roll over, you find that perfect position, you are completely comfortable, and you go into that kind of half sleep. That's what brumation is. So he's not completely conked out. I mean, I'm sure there's times where he's conked out, but he doesn't appear during the winter months. So he doesn't come out and chomp away, but he stays at my girlfriend's house during the winter where it's brumation because he's got a cool little habitat cave kind of thing. He's got his own crib. And so when it's time to yank him out of there, when he's coming out and chomping on lettuce and dandelions, and bring him over here to my pad, which is a literal tortoise buffet. My backyard is an animal sanctuary. I have quail, I have rabbits, I have hawks, I have owls, I have bunnies like crazy. I got quail families that are just gigantic, entire coveys in the backyard. And now I have a little dinosaur. It is cool. I thought it was kind of mean that it was pitched to my daughter. Hey, do you want a tortoise? She's like, oh, I will love it like my own child. So I have a tortoise. And I was mad about the whole thing. I think it is so cool getting up. Thank you so much, Chris. Appreciate it. It is so a little stuffy, but it was so cool to just get up and see a dinosaur in my backyard. To see a dinosaur, it is absolutely the neatest thing to watch him roll around. And when he gets on his horse, That kid can find second gear. He can scoot. He can get moving. And he's a little escape artist too. I leave the side gate open, and he's like, come on, here's my shot. I'm gonna make it out there. I'm gonna make it this time. I'm gonna make it this time. It's slow going. And then by the time I'm taking out the trash, going, oh, where are you going, buddy? And then I close the gate. But it is cool. And I highly recommend it. It is an invasive species. And we're going to talk a little bit about invasive species, especially here in the desert today. So they are invasive species. They are breeding super, super fast. Game and Fish Department is wrangling them up as quick as they can. And they're at headquarters off of I-17 and Carefree Highway. And you can just adopt them. And literally all you need, especially if you have grass in your backyard, you have nothing to do with these things. Nada. They'll eat the leaves off the bushes. They'll eat the grass and just chill. They just do their own thing. It is just I'm going away for a week this summer, going down to Mexico. And I'm telling you, he's going to be just fine. I don't have somebody come over and watch the tortoise. Tortoise is good. Great pet. Really cool thing to have. What's that? It's the longest he's hibernated. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Small tortoise. Nice. Yeah. No need to get a little worried. If nothing else said, you just go in there and just grab him. Just go in and grab him. He's fine. He wants to go back to sleep. He can go back to sleep. He's fine. They've been. I always think about animals in the wild. And this is a little side note here, and it's a good point you brought up. I'm glad you have one. Cool. And if Slavo is listening, I hope Princess Slavo is listening as well, because remember, I told her that I would work on you about getting her a tortoise. Y'all have chickens. For the love of grief, get a tortoise. Go have some fun. And you got a great backyard for it. But the where was I going with that? Oh yeah, in the wild. Like my girlfriend was like, we have to feed it. We got to get lettuce. We got more lettuce. I ran out of lettuce yesterday. He's not going to have anything to eat tomorrow. I'm like, guess what? In the desert, in the wild, they don't eat every day. They don't eat every day. They don't drink every day. They go around looking for food. And if a day goes by, they don't eat, no big deal. They don't get 3 hots and a cod every day. It's not like us. They don't need breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So it's okay. So they'll be just fine. They're going to figure it out. And it's always funny to me, like people, especially with dogs. And you know something, Lynn? I think they can. They definitely can't be here. I thought he was an invasive species. I thought what am I doing with the thing then? Okay. I was just corrected. Becky, please help me out with that. What was that? I thought Fernando was invasive. I thought that's why we have a whole rescue and all of that stuff. Why in the world are we doing all this if it's not invasive? Please tune in. I would appreciate you telling me that and saving my bacon here on the show. I'd appreciate that. But anyway, we can get into invasive species anyway. But about dogs and stuff like that. Oh my gosh, the dog didn't eat twice today. Or, oh my gosh, the dog has a little bit of a limp. Oh, I'm going to take him to the vet because of this. The dog's not acting right. What do you mean? You think about pack animals and dogs in the wild. They're all right. They figure it out. They do. Every one of them figures it out. Oh, I think he has an ear infection. They'll figure it out. Nature will work it through. You don't need to throw antibiotics their way. They're just fine. They're going to be okay. And the same thing with the tortoise. He's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. I remember a dog jumped out there back and was scratching at his shell and stuff like that. And I'm like, it's okay. That's why he has it. That's why he's got his body helmet on. He just tucks in there and I think they do. They scream, turtle, turtle, turtle. I think that's what they do. At least that's what I think they do. Okay. Sonoran desert tortoise. Okay. Then why is there a rescue? I really want to know this. Do you want me to send you an invite and you just punch onto the show here? Help me out. Damon Fish don't have his. You have got to help me out with this because I have been. You know something? I have been sold a bill of goods. I thought I was doing the right thing by participating in an adoption program that I needed to participate in to save invasive species and be the conservationist that I am. How about that? I've been sold a bill of goods. I tell you this. Yeah, I want to know what's going on here. But we do have invasive species here. Yeah, like striped bass. And if you tell me striped bass are native, I'm going to come at you. No, like striped bass. Go to Lake Pleasant and just pull those suckers out. Eat them. They're delicious. They're fantastic. It's some of the best fish fry that you're ever going to have. It's some of the best fish fry. But the cool thing about this, and the reason why I was so excited to have Nando back today, and if you're just catching up with us, Fernando Tortosuela, he's our tortoise, and he's out of Brumation, and he's hanging out, walking around, checking out the digs, and like I said, Lynn, what you were just talking about getting up the courage to eat gizzards, and now you're talking about you want to eat a tortoise? What is that? Oh, see, here's the deal. I'm told my woman here. Okay, this is Becky, everybody. Why are you what do you mean I have it all wrong? I don't. Okay. We're going to talk later after the show. I promise tomorrow I am going to talk to y'all about how I got this tortoise thing wrong and how I was sold a bill of goods and I say false advertising. I demand my money back, but I'm not going to give you the tortoise back because he's mine now. He's my buddy. He's my pal. Like I said, it's really cool to wake up and just look out in the back. Okay, how about this? And you see a dinosaur back there. It's really neat. So then, okay, but there is an adoption program with Arizona Game and Fish. Am I correct in saying that? I've had them on the program, for the love of grief. At your request, by the way, I've had them on the program. So, okay, there's an adoption program. Please, if you want a tortoise, get a tortoise. They're fantastic. They're amazing, amazing animals. I have it all wrong. Here we go. I'll tell you this. But this is okay outside of my Sonoran desert tortoise that I had. Then what's a box? I gotta figure this all out. I have a list of questions for you. So I have a tortoise in the back that apparently is not invasive. Thought was invasive. Thought I was doing the right thing in helping out in conservation. Please do so. If anything else is invasive, like striped bass, like Eurasian dove. Did I say Eurasian dove? Let's settle some coffee here. Hold on. Eurasian doves. Those are the ones with the black collars on. They're about the size of pigeons. They're absolutely gigantic. So if you want to just have some off dove season or off duck season, any type of bird hunting, that's the type of hunting that you do. You're participating in our system of conservation. And understand, Arizona, again, is the most biodiverse non-coastal state in the nation. Our game and fish department, your Arizona game and fish department, manages over 120, I mean, it's 820 species of animal, like healthy populations of animals. Now, only 60-ish ballpark are game species. So that leaves like 700 and yeah. Mm-hmm. Eddie, we don't promote that. We don't promote that. But Amazon's delivering a wrist rocket here in a few days. I kid. But we manage so many species, and when an invasive species comes along, it jacks up the whole program. You look at Florida right now. Florida is absolutely off the rails. You talk about backyard hunting. Eddie, seriously, you talk about backyard hunting in Florida. You can bow and arrow, go for it, dude. Sit on your porch, and iguana rolls by, peg it. They have entire shows dedicated to cooking these iguana. They have in processing its skin. I'm not kidding. It is that invasive. That on top of that, if you think that's not creepy enough that you could just be chilling and there's an iguana out in front of your house, messing with your dogs, or just rolling down the street and you've got a break. It's not like the quail here. The quail here are little adrenaline junkies. You know exactly what I'm talking about, too. You could be driving around the hood and there's nothing on either side. And out of nowhere, a whole covey of quail just come running across the street in single file. They like they're sitting on the side. Wait for his car. Wait. Go. They're adrenaline junkies. Like, whoa, did you see how close I got to that? Yeah, almost got killed. They're adrenaline junkies. Would you imagine there's a giant iguana going across the street? That would be absolutely mind-blowing to me. In Florida, you can hunt from the yard. It is legal. Cap those things. And do you want to know what else was invasive in Florida that you can just, I don't even know why you'd want to do it, but it sounds like a terrible idea. Fine, I'll try it. Pythons. Pythons are everywhere. Invasive, and bozos went to the pet store, bought a python online, or bought a python for a buddy, and they all just released these iguanas and these pythons into the wild. And then boom, they go. Surprise. They found a mate and they started doing the wild thing. And now we have wild invasive species thing going on. And we got to figure it out. And how to figure it out is exactly how we figure out manageable species of all other species of animal, including here in Arizona with over 820 species. We hunt them. It's the way it is. It's the North American model of wildlife conservation, and it works. That's why there was such a hullabaloo. I don't know if you remember, this is back in the John McCain days, and it's still going on to this day. This, you keep talking about cooking. When is the Go Show cookbook coming out? That's a dang good idea, Grizz. Go ahead and make a note of that. Go cookbook. Because I'm telling you, man, I made some banging mac and cheese on the Green Mountain Grill. Yeah, pellet grill, mac and cheese. Woo! We're going to go with that. Put a little game meat in there. We're going to, okay. All right, Chris, appreciate you. This thing's going on in the north rim of the Grand Canyon for a hot minute. You know what's happening up there? Bison are just crushing. Bison are destroying the habitat, destroying everything, all the beauty. They're crushing it. We've tried relocation. And here's what relocation is. If you pick me up from the West Valley, Arizona, and drop me off in Chandler, I'm not going to stay there. I'm going home. I'm going back to the west side. And if I take anyone on the east side, put them out here in my hood, you're going to find your way back. So relocating these bison was just dumb. All it is just, okay, it gave some of the vegetation and habitat a little time to recover, but that's it. They came home. And then they started breeding with cattle. That's where you get beefalo from. Delicious. All the bovine, every part of the bovine family can interbreed. It's weird. Anyway, but this is a big thing going on. So, what do we do? Well, how do we manage the species? How do we manage this? These bison are almost invasive to this point. They're breeding too fast, and there's nothing we can do. Game and Fish had their hand up saying, we know how to do this. We're pros at it. We're the very best at this. We can do this. We can have a special tag program, and we can drive these hunters right out, right to the bison, the one, the whatever select bison that we want to take out, that we want to cull from the herd. We will say, that one's yours right there. That's the one you take. Do you know who else does this? Africa. When they take out rhinos. When a rhino is too old to breed and killing the younger and killing the babies, they take it out. So they take a hunter out and they say, $500,000, please. Yeah, thank you very much. And they go, they say, right there. Right there. I want you, that's the one you want right there. That's the one we need to take out. We're going to kill him anyway. We might as well have you give us the $500,000 because you're a super billionaire and your name is Jimmy John. Who cares? Don't care. And that's how you do it. The level of red tape that has been going on with the bison at the Grand Canyon is absolutely staggering. It's blinding to me. I mean, we're dealing with national park. Can't hunt in a national park. We're dealing with tribal nations. And we're dealing with actual biologists and scientists that are saying, we know how to do this. We can take care of this in a week, guys. This is this easy. Dealing with all that. John McCain, this is what I said back in the day. This is John McCain era. Still going on. So they had this big, they finally had this big tag draw. Everybody was jumping in. It was going to be an ungodly expensive tag. And then until people did the research, instead of just, yep, I'm going to go on for the bison tag. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get one. I'm going to get me a bison. They did the research and saw that I get to keep how much of the animal? I don't get to keep the hide. I don't get to, I can't have a skull. What? So I'm just paying a lot of money to participate in the conservation system. I already volunteered enough. Thank you very much. Astounding failure. But this is the problems that we deal with, especially we deal with invasive species. And if you have an animal that is introduced into our ecosystem here in Arizona, and it is not controlled and dialed in by the Arizona Game and Fish Department, it's chaos, complete chaos. Everything just impacts everything. And so when we brought in elk 100 years ago, Arizona had that many elk? Zero. None. So when Arizona borrowed, I believe, I want to say it was from Nevada. I think so. I think we took I forget what was it, like 36 head of elk. And Game and Fish said, this is the program we have. We're going to put this, we're going to build the population, and it's going to be amazing. And you know what happened? We have several elk seasons now. We have so many elk because it's done right and it's managed properly. And it was brought in. So it was kind of invasive. We didn't have any. So we brought some in scientifically, biologically, conservationistly, and then we now have seasons. And it's absolutely wonderful and fantastic. It's a wonderful success story. So much so that I believe Pennsylvania, I'm just throwing some names. I think it is Pennsylvania. They had that many elk, zero. So they said, hey, Arizona, can you do us a favor? Remember when you were helped out and you guys now have this cool season? Yeah. Can we get some of your elk, please? Yep, sure can. Really. And it's done through science, is done the right way. And yes, the red tape, Scotty, is hurting conservation. One of my biggest problems, and this is, y'all know me from the years I've been on radio here in Arizona. I am a news talk guy. This is, I'm all about politics and news. I am, but this is not the place for it in the show. But when these two things collide, it is one of my biggest pet peeves. I can't even tell you how much this upsets me. It just triggers me when we have politicians that are legislating conservation. I'm sorry, y'all. I know very few intelligent political figures. Sorry. I don't know many. David Schweikert might be one of the smartest human beings I know. There's a few others. And then that's it. They should not be even the smartest of. My man Schweikert, although he would be studied, he would make sure he knew everything about the topic before he made any kind of move on it. No one else would. and he's still not a biologist. He's still not a scientist. So the science is what should rule conservation, period. And the science is down to a science. And we figured it out how sportsmen and women like you and I get to go out and participate in the conservation, in the model, in the proliferation of these species, in the safety of these species, in the great circle of life that we have. And see, the funny thing is, I felt so much pride, and I don't know if she's still listening, but I felt so much pride in having this tortoise. Like, I am participating. I'm helping pull this invasive species out. It's causing problems, and here I am helping out, doing the right thing, and apparently I was wrong. I got duped, but now I love my Nando, and I'm all about him. I love our little Fernando. So yeah. So dang it. I thought I was participating. I go out to Lake Pleasant and pulling striped bass all day, and I know I'm participating. I go out and just plug Euro pigeons all the time. They're the size of pigeons. They're dove, but they're the size of pigeons. And by the way, that's a really cool thing. If you all know this, Arizona has a 365-day hunting season. There are game species that are invasive, that are just way overpopulated. The Game and Fish Department says you go out any day of the week, 365 days, just do your thing, man. No limits, go have fun. One of those is Eurasian dove, and fantastic. If a white wing or a mourning dove is a fillet, Eurasians are a ribeye. They're big, beefy, feed a lot, fantastic eating, cooked well. And Grizz, I'm on that cookbook. That's a fun idea, and or maybe just some sort of add-on we can do, and we can just share recipes for just all year round. How about that too? So, because then you got to put my face on a book, and it's weird enough for me doing the streaming thing every day. My face for radio. So, hey, people, don't take my picture. What do you mean you have photographers coming in? I don't like it. Yeah. But several. So jackrabbit, same thing. We can do rabbit all year round. Jackrabbit are ginormous, a lot of fun to hunt, and fast as all get up. You think a dove flies fast? Forget that noise. And while we have a few minutes, let me help you out this now that we're in the season. And if you guys get out to the West Valley and get out and start capping some striped bass with me, it'd be great. And by the way, they're so good eating. They are really a thick, flaky fish. It's fantastic. I'm telling you, any size, good. The having it just dropping a line in at night is what you're going to do. It's going to be night fishing, not like catfishing. You don't let it sit on the bottom. You got to be out there in a boat or a kayak and suspended. Now, lights, safety, guys. It's kind of dangerous out there sometimes. People going full bore in the dark, and if they don't see you, they're going to run over you. But just dropping some anchovy chunks down there, and just waiting for a little hit. And the cool thing is you might be in a wrong spot when you're striped bass fishing. You might be in the right spot. Okay, here we go. Hold on a second. You might be in the right spot. I'm going to get to this in a second. You might be in what you think is the wrong spot, but hang tight. Don't move anything. Because the cool thing about striped bass is they school and they constantly move. And when they move, they're usually moving in a big circle. And they might be moving around you. I get it. But one of them will go check out that bait ears, and then the rest will come along. But they're going to keep moving. So even if you're on it and you're pulling like 2 or 3, and you're like, okay, now it's just dead, hang tight, relax. Pour yourself a nice iced tea or a nice hop tea. It's fantastic. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, dude, Scotty, it truly is. Truly is. All right, let me get to this. It is night fishing with some beers and buds. I tell you, okay, here we go. All right, here we go. All right, this is the now we have it here. Mike, when she starts things with Mike, you're not okay. Arizona Game and Fish Department has native tortoises up for adoption. Illegal breeding of the tortoise, has caused a problem, and people have to surrender them because they live so long, and you can't release them into the wild because they can transfer respiratory diseases. Okay, there's a lot to unpack here. Okay, hold on a second. Wait a second. Okay. The illegal breeding program, fantastic. If a tortoise has caused a problem. Got it. Good. Okay, so I feel at least I'm participating in some sort of like a solution to something. Okay, I feel a little bit better about that. But people have to start them because they live so long. That's fine. So if you're going to adopt a tortoise, remember this, it's going to be generational. It's Fernando's going to be around for a while. And you can't release them in a while because they transfer respiratory diseases. Okay, now I have a question. Respiratory disease to other tortoise, right? Or respiratory disease to other animals in the wild. Maybe if somebody eats like a coyote or something, eats one, it gets a little cough. I'm a little wigged out because I literally just transferred the tortoise from your pad today. So, I mean, I was handling Nando, and people come over and they always want to pick Nando up. They always want to take pictures with Fernando. Are they going to get a respiratory disease? I got to look this up. See? Okay. Then the lesson today is very simple. Do your homework. Do your homework. That's all I'm going to say. Do your homework. That's the lesson for today. If you want to get a hunting dog, do your homework. If you want to get a non-hunting dog, do your homework. If you want to get a tortoise, for the love of grief, please do your homework. And I think the other lesson for today is this. If you are duped into getting something like this, and you're duped under the guise of conservation and, really helping out, keep the person that did it, me, the person that took to this and said, yes, I want to help out, me, keep lying to that person. It's okay. You don't have to let that person know the truth. No, it's not a invasive species. Fine. Yeah. Chris, yes, do your homework and listen to Becky. Good grief, I know. Holy mackerel. This is the Go Show. Appreciate that too, Lynn. But as we see, and that's the fun part, we're doing this all together, y'all. We're having a good time. We're building the streaming thing up together. I hope you guys share it out and hope you guys bring along your pals because we're just doing this together. I'm not a pretentious host. I'm like, I've got everything figured out. You need to throw this bait or that bait. Oh, man. We're just going to have a conversation and just have fun. That's our goal here. That's our job, is just advertising and participating in this beautiful, beautiful North American model of wildlife conservation and doing our best to help out, leaving the deserts, leaving the lakes, leaving the streams better than we found them, and doing what we can to volunteer when we can, rebuild restoration products and rebuilding projects, definitely. And yeah. Yes, wait. Oh, okay. Yes, to other turtles, not torts. Okay, so it's a respiratory disease to other tortoises and in tortoises. Okay, all right. Well, I've got Nando's just in the backyard, so Nando's good. Nando's not going to give any other tortoises any respiratory disease. That's all good. There we go. We have that done, and we're going to all figure this out together. You guys are absolutely amazing. You guys are too much fun. Here's the deal. I don't know if you guys have heard of this. Next week we have something cool coming on. Somebody cool coming on. If you go into YouTube, you can check them out. Fridays with Frank. Fridays with Frank is a Pinal County sheriff and deputy sheriff, and he is a traffic cop. And his videos are they blow up. He's a celeb, and he's absolutely hilarious. He's a huge outdoorsman. Huge outdoorsman. So we're going to talk about life on the road in a cop car. We're also going to talk about some cool outdoor stuff as well. And I have traffic questions that I need answered. I need these answers right now. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you, dear, for making sure that I don't look like too much of an ass. I'm glad you caught me early on that because I thought we're going to do all day on invasive species. But I'm learning right here in front of you in real time on the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoor. Vaccinate the turtle. Don't goad me into that kind of thing, Lynn. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock right here on the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of a state that we live in, hopefully minus invasive species. Do your part. And your